What is up, YouTube? It is tea time here. We are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Moonknight episode 5, in the MCU, obviously. But if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys leave it a like for me. And if you guys are new here, you guys have not subscribed, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's hop into our review. I'll get to my thoughts at the end. But we got some notes here. So we'll start out with that. So we start with the flashback of a woman saying it's your fault, screaming it, and then we cut to them two screaming right here, and the hippo screaming as well, Tawret or whatever her name is, and then we cut to Mark in the in Harrow's office, right, and they start talking, the hippo and Mark and Steven, obviously, and they're talking about they're going to somewhere, right? And they mention that this place is, I forgot what they said it was, but it said it's like similar to the ancestral plane, and they mentioned it. So obviously we got another Black Panther mention in here. But they end up going through a door, and it gets revealed to us that they are on a boat, right? And they're going to the field of reeds. I think I might have said something about that in my last review, about how they're on a boat. But yeah, they're going to the field of reeds, and Tawret brings out their hearts, and she weighs them for good and for evil, and for good, you go to the field, obviously, and if bad, then you're done, It didn't end up going anywhere. It just kept moving like it did on Harrow's arm. So she's like, figure it out before we get there, or you guys don't go. So then Steven ended up going to a memory of little Mark, right? And it's his brother and his mom and his dad. They're at a cookout outside their house or something. And they went to a cave. And I'm guessing that they've been there a lot because they talk about it. But they go to a cave. And we find out that Mark's brother died that day in that cave because he drowned. And then we cut to the funeral or something. And his mom is yelling, it's your fault. She's blaming him for it all. And she pretty much hates him, And his birthday comes around. And she's not sitting there, but then she comes out and she starts making fun of him or saying something about him, right? Just abusing him. And this was a pretty strong episode. But like I said, I'll get to my thoughts at the end. But yeah, she pretty much hated him. And so he runs up to his room, and we cut to another place, and it's like the desert, and it's the tomb where we see Layla'S dad dead, pretty much, and we see Mark almost dead, but he accepts Khonshu's task or whatever. Right here, this is the scene. It was actually pretty cool. And this whole episode was just amazing acting by Oscar, But yeah, we cut back to that scene where he left his mom at the table and he ran to his room. And he's getting yelled at, right? And that's whenever he events Stephen Grant. And Steven's like, wait, what? I wasn't here this whole time? All that. But then his mom came in and she grabbed a belt. And Mark was like, no, you got to go. We got to go. We can't see this. So obviously that happens, right? And yeah, that's the first time he switches to Steven, And whenever they get out the room, Steven is like, yo, I'm fake. I'm just in your mind. What's going on? He's like, I made you to forget all this stuff. Do you want to remember all this stuff, And we get revealed that she's dead. But then we get a flashback to her funeral, right? We get a flashback to that, and we see that he actually showed up to his mom's funeral. But he didn't, like, he just was sitting outside getting drunk, and then he left once he saw his dad. And, once he left, he was just, it was a really emotional scene, because it's like, yo, that's, wow, It's just crazy. Oscar Isaac is amazing, man. But, yeah, we do that. We see that. And we cut back to Harold's office. It's Steven in there now. And he ends up, like, I don't know. I can't necessarily put my mind to it. But, like, we cut to them on the boat. And people start coming up and attacking them, right? And because of that, Steven is like, I'm Mark pretty much. So I'm accepting who I am. And he goes out and he starts kicking all of them, beating them all up, kicking them, everything, And it's pretty cool. It's like, yes, man, yes. He goes in and helps. And Mark's about to get pulled over, but then Steven's like, no. So he runs and he ends up throwing himself and the bad person over. And we see he dies. Or does he? I don't know. And this is how it pretty much ends. But then we see the Tarvet shows up. Is like, oh, look, you're good. It's all balanced. And at the very end, we see this. I'm guessing this is Mark in the Field of Reeds. So, I don't know what's going to happen next week. I feel like, personally, they have so much to get through. And I don't know, to be honest. It's just one episode. So, I just hope that everything wraps up like a nice little bow tie, But, yeah, let me get to my thoughts. This wasn't an action episode at all. We didn't see really much of any Moonknight. But then again, you have to think, you need a backstory, And if you look at it all as 6 episodes, if you watch them all together at once, it's kind of like a movie. You're getting some action, but you're also getting some backstory right here in this little part. But then at the very end, you're getting your very end battle, So I feel like it's needed. And I'm always a sucker for backstory, like just backstory scenes in general. I like building a character. I like character development, all that stuff. Obviously, I like backstory if it's good backstory, And this one was. It's really great. Oscar Isaac was an amazing actor in this episode. I just can't wait to see more, to be honest with you. Next week cannot come faster because, I also have a Doctor Strange preview coming out next week as well. So we got that, and then my Doctor Strange review will come out right after this review pretty much next week. So it's going to be kind of a crazy week next week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I give this episode pretty much a 8, 9 out of 10 for me. Not for action or anything, just for character development, building a character, stuff like that. Giving us a backstory to work off of. But yeah, it was pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this episode? Can you guys wait for next week? You guys think the series as a whole was a bust? I see a lot of people saying that. I don't know. Let me know. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.